How America's biggest indoor shrimp farm sells 2 million shrimp every year.
Yep.
I got this one.
Oh.
Also, someone said content for tomorrow. Oh my God. Goated. Oh, thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you so much for this, dude. Wait, is he wearing... Those aren't Travis Scott's, are they? What are these shoes, chatters? Aren't those like 10 grand? Reverse mocha Travis Scott's. My man is fucking dripped out. Exactly right, Travis Scott. Jordan 1 low. Oh, the lows are 1K. I thought the highs are like 10K. No? Nah, they're 300 now. Tucker isn't wearing socks. Yeah, of course he's not. He's fucking a typical douche.
I'm in the middle of Los Angeles County right now, in a tank, indoors, in a warehouse with 25,000 shrimp.
That's so creepy.
Wow, I got 0. And we're gonna see how Transparency is raising them, harvesting them, and selling them.
Transparency is trying to optimize the prawn growing process. They think that by controlling growing conditions, they can raise them cleaner, cheaper, and more sustainably than farms across the world. Transparency is the brainchild of a guy named Steve Sutton, a lifetime commercial fisherman who spent years on shrimp farms across the world before deciding he could reinvent the process right in Los Angeles. The team brings in 100,000 microscopic prawn babies every 3 weeks, with the goal of turning them into $100,000 worth of jumbo prawns in just 3 months. The next step is tinkering with the ideal living conditions, whether that's feed rates, filtration, and current, to create the biggest, happiest shrimp they can. And to this point, it's really working. LA chefs are lining up to cook with this product. So today, I'm in Los Angeles to see if this is a model that can really work and create a product that is not only better for the planet, but even more delicious.
Welcome to Dan Does.
So this would be a box overnighted from FedEx with about 12,000 shrimp in it.
Really?
Yeah. Be one of 8 boxes we receive every 3 weeks. So we get about 100,000 each shipment.
So like 8 boxes becomes...
Around $100,000 worth of saleable shrimp if all goes well.
So what is actually in here?
They're actually 15-day-old, what's called post-larvae.
So why don't you just make babies here? Like, why do you have to bring babies in?
So the genetics are super important. You can kind of be a penny wise, a pound foolish. If you don't have a good handle on the mother and father and like how fast they can grow and how resistant they are to disease, you can end up with shrimp that take 14, 17 weeks instead of 12 weeks to grow. And so you lose a lot of money on that. So every 3 weeks we get a new shipment. We'll open it up, then they're gonna go into the nursery.
Steve says that in the next iteration of the
Bugs,
farm,
bro.
they
Y'all
intend
are
to
eating
hatch
bugs.
their own prawns. But for now, they want to get the living conditions right before they have their own babies.
Straight up.
From here, the team slowly drops the salinity down to the level they want it before dumping the babies in one of the 2 nursery tanks. The nursery tanks use a technology called biofloc, which is where they add carbon to create a natural self-filtering ecosystem. The later tanks use a technology called clear water, where the undesirables are actually filtered out.
Okay, so we are standing in front of their 2
They're
nurseries.
doing shrimp eugenics.
And each one of these nurseries will hold the prawns for about 3 weeks.
That's right.
And in 3 weeks, they're ready to move on to the next stage. We're lucky to be here today because today is actually transfer day, and the goal is to move everything from this nursery to a grow tank as fast as possible.
Now these ones have to move in the next day or 2. So yeah, it's a good day.
All right, let's scoop them and move them.
Don't fall in.
Down towards the ground. Oh my God, they're hopping. Oh, I feel them.
You feel them? See what you got. Now give them a little shake in the water to get that foam out.
So now
You're gonna try to collect with your hands. There you go, you got them down in one spot. Just keep going all the way around, you got them.
The trick of the transfer stage is moving all of the prawns as fast as possible so that they acclimate and start eating and adjust to their new environment all at the same time. So for this next few hours, it's kind of a mad dash.
whoa. All right, so shake.
Yeah, lower them in, turn the basket forward, and then shake on the way out. They grow a lot better in here. It takes them a couple days to get situated, and then they start taking off and growth. These guys are already eating. They'll clean up the walls. Any algae that's grown in the past few days in here will be gone.
Okay, so what is this tank? Like, obviously it looks like a racetrack a bit. Is that on purpose?
Yeah, so it's actually called a raceway. Basically, it's an optimal growing system for shrimp, and what it does is just create a circular current. Water comes in at 2 points in our system here, and keeps them swimming.
Those
It's
guys-
funny, until they hit the water, they're kind of out of it. They're
Yeah.
kind of like asleep. And then they hit the water and they just go, "Boom."
Oh yeah, life. Why are we calling prawns? Are they prawns or shrimp?
They're technically prawns, but the market calls them white shrimp.
Okay.
They're Pacific white-legged prawn is the actual species.
So your goal here is to be like the most efficient shrimp grower in the world, right?
We want to change a really inefficient industry into one that's as efficient as it can possibly be. This farm is a big step.
So let's talk about some of the elements of this tank. First is the feeder. Is this unique to you, or is this like a...
No, these are really common in aquaculture. It's just a timer with a belt. So there's a timer here, and the belt just slowly creeps forward. So we come in the morning, we fill the belt, we weigh out the feed based on the size and the population.
The amount of money they could have used for good, and they just decided on shrimp capitalism. Dude, is your brain like wired in a way where you think like every industrious person has to like literally unironically decide to like combat capitalism with money or something? Fuck do you mean? People like eating shrimp. I hate shrimp personally. I think they're bugs and weird, but like, yeah, no, of course they're gonna fucking, this is how they're gonna make it. I don't know. I don't have an issue with this. I'm gonna be honest.
And we fill the belt, and it slowly drops in.
It seems to me that filtration is like the thing that you don't see in these tanks, but that is like the majority.
Like they're
of
making
the
food, you know that, right? Like people eat this for sustenance, which is a necessity for survival. Sometimes I think I've done too much.
headache and the operations that go into it, right?
For the filtration, first a drum filter uses centrifugal force to remove all the physical solids from the water. Then for the dissolved waste, the water is pumped into giant tanks with a plastic medium that uses its surface area to attract the undesirables. Mastering the filtration allows transparency to reuse over 95% of its water.
This room is obviously really hot, and it's at 86 degrees, you said?
Yeah.
Is this the kind of thing where like you would try it at 90, try it at 80, just to see where you're gonna get the most growth?
This shrimp's grown around the world. It's a tropical species that's from Mexico all the way down to Peru. They can survive up to 93 degrees, but they could start to have problems at that temperature. Similarly, they can go down to 65, but they're not gonna grow very much. They're gonna be very, very sluggish. So this is just their prime temperature and allows us to be much more efficient. They don't fight current, they don't fight cold temperatures at night. Everything's stable.
So from here, we'll live out here for 8 weeks, and then we can go check out some harvesting right now?
They are the
Yeah,
cockroaches
right now
of
we
the
have
sea,
5
that's true.
crops on the farm. So we have a baby crop. This is our second youngest crop. It's about 30 days on the farm. We have another crop that's about 3 weeks ahead, and another crop 6 weeks ahead.
Awesome, let's go. Oh, whoa, okay, you can see that these are, so this is mid-level, mid-size.
Mid-size.
What reason would you actually have to like monitor? Like what are we checking on?
Daily we check the bottom, and in order to grow, shrimp molt. So they change their shell. When they're tiny, like those little guys, they're molting every day in order to grow. When they're this size, they're probably molting every several days. By the time they're harvest size, they're molting every 2 weeks. If there are too many molts sitting on the bottom, they'll collect feed and they'll start to rot, basically.
Right.
And if that happens in the course of 2-3 days, everything will be dead.
Can we scoop some out?
Let's do it.
Why are we going to the bottom? Just,
There's generally more at the bottom. They do like to swim in our system, but you got some, maybe 20, 25.
and so very simply, like what is your system here?
So it goes through these screens and down these 6-inch pipes into 2 12-inch pipes that go down to the actual filtration equipment. These guys are feeding and they're active, and just like us, they respire, they use oxygen, they produce carbon dioxide. We need to take some of that out, and then it'll be pumped through some sterilization equipment down this 12-inch pipe and to each respective tank.
From here, I have to get a wetsuit on so I can actually get in the tank.
All right, time to harvest. I'm gonna need you to put this on.
I would
suit?
never in a million years.
We're gonna harvest tank 4.
How do I look?
2, 3. You look great. You look very handsome.
No
really
fucking
don't
shot.
get into this water
No
right
way,
now.
no
You
how.
guys have been on the farm now for 2 months, coming up
Nope.
on just about ready to harvest.
It is wild. Look how they all, I mean, they're huge. They're all
Oh
sort
god,
of
they would bite on you and
uniform.
shit?
Well,
No
they sort of like
way.
they all got somewhere to go.
I was sort of stalling because I was super nervous to get in the tank with all these swimming shrimp. It is not something that I'm incredibly comfortable with. The first step is actually pulling up the raceway so we can use half of the tank to trap the shrimp in a net, which will eventually pull up.
They're like, this is my tank. You're in their world now.
And now this top part's gonna come down, and you're just gonna cinch them together. This is great stuff.
Like I can feel you're feeling some like attacks on my feet.
No.
Yeah. Why don't you wear water shoes?
We don't wear water shoes because we want to feel how the tank is. We want to see if it's clean, if it's dirty, where the molds are, and how the shrimp are doing.
So we could wear water shoes.
If you want to. I have booties if you want.
No. Come on. I'm in it for the long haul here. I cannot.
No shot.
I mean, they love my feet. I'm doing good. I like it. I mean,
You're not moving a lot, which is fine.
but you always drag your feet. You're always shuffling.
Yeah, shuffle. I usually walk on my big toes.
Okay.
We're going to take our seine net. It's 25 feet around. And I'm going to have you go all the way across. Just hug that net against the wall. And you're going to go full circle all the way through.
How am I doing?
We'll find out.
When does it? It gets a little dicey once we get closer, right?
All right, so now we have a big O.
Yep.
And my next step is getting out of the O. So we probably
Okay.
got 50 pounds of shrimp in this seine net right now.
All right. So all this here is our catch.
Yes. They're all at the bottom there.
From here, the goal is to trap all the shrimp that are caught in the net. But for today's purpose, we're just doing one quick restaurant run, and the batch isn't totally ready. So we're letting a lot go before we actually harvest.
What does that mean? All it takes is one bad shrimp, dude, and it's over. It's a wrap.
We got some shrimp.
We got some shrimp. We're gonna find out right now. Matthew's gonna sort them. But overall, you did well.
So that's our haul.
That's your catch, man.
The last step is moving the shrimp to the counting, processing, weighing room where they'll be divided between sizes and then packaged up to go to restaurants.
So we got about a little less than 9 pounds.
This is because you're taking out one restaurant's order. This would be like 50 pounds, right?
So normally we would do anywhere from 100 to 300 or 400 pounds in a day. So this sorting table that we're about to use would be full.
The shrimp are sorted into large, jumbo, and actually soft shell shrimp, which is something that is not typically seen in the US.
You're selling them based on weight. So there's a cutoff where they're not growing much more.
So our target size is large, which is just an arbitrary naming of a shrimp that's around 30 grams. Anything bigger than that we call a jumbo, and we get them, bigger than my hand. So these actually are pretty unique.
I got one.
He's got one.
25, baby.
That's a large. Because I'm cheap.
Ooh, is that a soft head?
What do they do with the rest of them? Just
He's on the soft.
pick them out?
It's so crazy that this bucket starts from those little guys you bring
What
in.
is this?
Yeah, dog, I hear what you're
And it's
saying.
crazy on a
It's
full
just
day.
I don't like seafood. What? Hold up. What you mean you don't like seafood? Yeah, I get this all the time, man. To me, it stank. I don't like nothing that you
Agreed.
can't put in the refrigerator and eat the next day. Or maybe it's just the texture for me, but I don't fool with it. You don't like shrimp? No. You don't like fish?
No.
But you don't like salmon, dog? Like salmon don't stink or nothing like that. No. Like
They
if
always-
it comes from the
They always bring salmon up. Oh, come on, bro. That's the chicken of the sea. No.
water, I don't like it. I don't like any seafood. Whatever you say, I don't like it. You gotta get it fresh, man. I don't know where you get your salmon from, dog. I
Tuna
don't
is
like
the
it.
chicken of the sea. I know. Fuck you. Whatever. That's nasty too. Shut up.
Nah, you got to go to Leroy's, man. Leroy's, I've been to Leroy's. I went to the one off Lake Cook. Nah, you got to go to the one off 57 with the bulletproof glass. I'm telling you, that Leroy's, it does not matter where the seafood is. I don't like seafood. Bro, you don't like lobster? No. You don't like crab cakes? All of it. Throw it away. I don't want it. I don't like it.
I'm so happy this
You
video.
don't, you don't like crab legs? Dog. Well, hey, what's wrong with this dude, man? I don't like it. You can't make me like it. I don't like seafood. Dog, how
And it's crazy because, like, look, they're doing it in the chat right now. Look, bro, oh, you just don't like it because you told yourself you don't like it. And now you're not giving it a chance. Like, I've given it periodically a chance, okay? The only thing that comes out of the sea that I have eaten that doesn't, like, immediately disgust me is, like, sometimes caviar. When it's on top of, like, a fucking Wagyu because I'm at a sushi restaurant and the only fucking land meat they have is Wagyu and they insist on putting the fucking caviar on it. So it's just like salt.
How you don't like salmon though?
And the thing is, like, with respect to caviar, like, from what I understand, I haven't had it that much either, obviously, but like, bad caviar is also incredibly fucking like, you can taste the sea in like shitty caviar, but I guess like I've only had good ones. I don't know.
I mean, we'll
I've never
fill
had
that fridge with these bins.
Yeah,
I'm
these are
lucky,
all
I'm
about
fortunate.
19, 20, 21 grams. We'll get these packaged up and move them out to the restaurant.
Sounds good.
This is our product.
So there's your 5-pound catch. We're gonna bring these to the restaurant later, but we've got the rest of them to mess around with.
Wow, that's insane. Tasting that, I feel like I'm in like Spain or something, you know, off some coast, and yeah.
Yeah, because the idea is if we're gonna change an industry that's got a lot of problems,
You gotta win. You gotta have the best stuff.
we've gotta make high quality stuff.
In order for Steve's mission to work, he has to have the best prawns, and I wanted to see what a top chef would do with them. So we took a batch over to the Michelin-recognized Holbosch.
So we got the big ones coming in about 2 weeks. We want to bring you some of the new batch to get started.
Yeah, these look great, man. I'm gonna take these inside and we're gonna make an aguachile. See what else we can do with them.
Sounds good.
With shrimp of this quality, I mean, you can eat it just like that. Good head. I mean, aguachile is a northern Mexican variation on a ceviche. The whole idea of it, it's supposed to be spicy, tangy, refreshing, and simple. And you
Holy
need
fuck.
really high quality shrimp to make it work.
Were you surprised when you got his shrimp first?
You know, I got the news from Steve
You can't say you don't like seafood if you haven't had all kinds of it. The texture and taste is too wide and ready. Just deny it, dude. Stop, dude. I'm 31 years old, brother. Jesus Christ.
that the project had moved to Downey. It sounded like a super complicated project. First, I'm like, wait, you're gonna farm shrimp in LA, like most expensive land in the country. You're gonna do a shrimp farm. I'm like, okay, well that's ambitious, but I love the idea of having fresh shrimp in the neighborhood. I mean, that's wild. Well, shrimp is gonna be one of the easiest things to source. It's actually been the hardest thing to source.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, tangy.
A little spice.
These little things were hitting me in the leg today. This is incredible. It's so crazy to me because to me,
Got
like,
zapped.
this is the balance of like,
I know I'm picky. I know I'm picky. And I've tried all matter of fucking shrimp and oysters and everything. It's just, I don't like it.
art and technology.
Summer's gonna be good.
I hope so, man. People are calling.
After seeing how a chef like Gilberto
Oh my God, I love you. He said, you're 31, you look 25. Wow, off Sitch. Thank you so much. You win chatter of the day.
reacted to the product and just how good it tasted, I thought this could really be something, you know, and that's exciting because if the model works, there could be hundreds of these farms across the country providing all kinds of hyper-local, sustainable seafood, not just to restaurants, but to grocery stores. And it seems like that would both improve our food systems and give people access to a healthier, more delicious product.
So it's really about if we can get everybody to kind of win. The beauty of it, it's driven by
I do have fish oil, though, and krill oil. I have both of those things time to time.
the people who pay for his food and eat it.
Sure. Yeah.
More like 40, half of your hairs are white, old man. I don't understand what it's like to just be blind, to own me. Like, you're just like, yeah, I'm just blind now.
If they make the choice to pay more for something that's sustainable, and he's conveying well the message to them, and his servers know what to say.
Video was great, but, you know, little, it's not for me. Maybe it's because of shrimp.